Hi there, it's pretty quiet tonight, so I thought I'd go ahead and test the pattern, the one I cut out that I was going to use first. I ended up taking out the white piece, and I tested the pattern just to see how it was going to look. I've got all my pieces already serged. I've got them fray checked, and they're ready to be sewn together. So I started this one. I took the white one out of the middle. I decided I didn't like that. I'm a little off on this one. I don't know why. But anyway, here's the doll. And this was that spare one I was going to do. And that's basically what this pattern's going to look like on this doll. So that will be her skirt part. And then I'm going to use the same fabric and make the top of the dress. I'm going shopping tomorrow, so I'm going to get some darker brown. I think I'll like darker brown on the base of this better than that lighter cocoa brown, but we'll see. But anyway, since I've already got this one started, I'm just going to show you how to piece the skirt together. It's just like doing piecework when you're quilting. It's very simple. So let me just pretend I'm starting from scratch. Let me get her out of the way. So we're going to take our pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put brown on one side and we're going to put the peach on the other. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up. And remember, this is a 1/4 inch seam. So let's just line that up. Pin it. Pin it from this side. Okay, so when you're at the top, this is your top of your middle piece. We're going to put our pin 1/4 inch from where we want to sew. So let's go ahead and put the pin right there, just like that. So that's where we're going to stop. We're only going to sew within 1/4 inch. So you can sew from this side or the other side, and I'll show you how we'll sew it when we have other pieces on this one. So I can just sew this like this, and then I can just attach this section to the section I've already sewn. Okay, so we're at just your regular straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, and we're going to just go ahead and do a straight stitch right up to that 1/4 inch right there. So let's just set that down there. Okay, we're going to get it right up on that pin. We're going to back stitch about 3 times, and that's what we're going to end up with. So I can get my little scissors here. Okay, so there was my pin. There's my 1/4 inch. See how that's they're not sewn together. And then you get to the bottom here. Cut your stitch. And you're halfway through on that. So you've got 1/4 inch left. So my next one, I'm going to go right down to here, and that's going to give me that triangle effect on the bottom. So if you're going to have that narrow rolled hem here, so if it's not exactly perfect, it's no tragedy. Okay, like this one is a little bit off, but it's okay. Okay, so just keep doing that. So we've got that one done. So now our next piece is we're going to sew an orange one on. So let's grab an orange piece, and this time we're going to sew it up this side. Same thing, line up the bottom pieces. Okay, so in this time we're going to turn it over and we're going to see how we're going to press that. We're going to turn that. You can use your press it. You can use your ironing and iron it up if you want to, if it's easier for you. A lot of people like to use their irons when they're doing piecework, but it's up to you. Okay, so we're going to go all the way up there. We're going to put our pin up there. So now, when we stitch this time, we're going to start exactly at that corner right there. That's where we're going to put our sewing machine needle and we're going to sew down. So let's turn these pins the opposite way. Okay, so there's your peach or orange, and we're going to start at that 1/4 inch right there. So you can go ahead and get your machine here, put your needle right down in that place where you want it to sew. Sew a couple stitches up. Okay, that was 3. Let's go back 3. Okay. Okay, so there was our stitch. See how it was right there on that? Okay. Take our pin out and see what happens. We end up with a little triangle. That's what it's going to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this triangle and we're going to bend it down. And we're going to line these 2 pieces up. We're going to get this triangle out of the way, and we are going to sew right to that stitch right there, which matches on the other side. It usually will match because you sew it in the same location. Okay, so now I'm going to sew from here down. As you can see it on the brown, I matched right up there. I got within half a stitch, but it's okay. It'll be fine. You know, on these things too, if you don't sew them exactly accurate, you could always put little buttons here, or you can put little ribbons here. You can put those little floral flowers, you know, those little silk flowers. You can, if you do like a romantic pinks, you can put little pink roses here. I mean, there's just so many options. You can put those little mini buttons here. Gosh, I don't know, all kinds of things. You can just decorate them any way you want. Okay, so we did that, so then that's what we're looking at, just like that. So that's that piece. So then we're going to add another one this way. So we want to move this up out of the way. So let's put a pin and push that up out of the way. Okay, and then we'll get another 1/4 circle. Line it up to the bottom. And you're just going to keep going round and round and round and round until it's just going to be one after another. Just keep adding one right after the other. And like I said, if you want to iron them, that's fine too. It'll help you keep the seams open. So if you have one of those little mini irons, that's what they suggest you do when you're piece quilting, is to iron all your pieces flat when you're doing that. Okay, I got glitter on me. there's a 1/4 inch. So that's what I'm going to start my seam at. I'm going to go all the way down 1/4 inch, and then we're going to line up that bottom diamond at the bottom of this seam. Okay, so let's get started on this one. So line up your needle with that pin. Okay, take it out. Go up a couple. 3. 1, 2, 3, forward. Okay, stay within your 1/4 inch all the way down. The nice thing about this, if you don't like the way it lines up, you can always just take it out and try again. I've already taken out a couple and redid them because I didn't like the triangle on the bottom. But that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's see what that did. Okay, now that's a little off there on the bottom, so you can just cut it, or you can just wait till you put the narrow hem on with the cutter and it'll smooth it all out. Okay, so that's that. So the next one is going to be, I'm going to add a orange, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth until I get to the entire full skirt. And then so I figured the 10.5 inch, we already talked about how many of these I'm going to need. I'm 6. I've already got 6, so that's 6 inches on a 6 inches on a 10.5 inch waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should be halfway. Yeah, and I pretty much am pretty good halfway. And I think we did pretty good on the length. I think could have been a little bit longer, but you know, these are kind of cute when they're really short. Yeah, it's got to be a full bodice then. So, okay, so that's it, and I'll keep working on this, so then when we come back, we'll design a bodice or the halter top and put the halter top on it. And I'll work on that since I've shown you how to put these together. I'll work on that wild one just to see what it's going to look like. Okay, see you later.